Hey, what's going on? It's Sean. I recently had an opportunity to pick up a new film camera and it has some interesting quirks. I didn't find much content out there about it, so I thought I'd make a video. Today, we're talking about the Rollei 35RF. During one of the recent holiday sales, I found myself precariously on Nick Cage's website and spotted the Rollei 35RF. I had been in the market for a Leica M3, but was struggling to make the purchase. I really wanted something with an internal meter, so I was leaning towards a Bessa instead. But then the Rollei popped up and I decided not to hesitate. After a week of delays and shipping, the camera finally arrived. I was super excited, so I made an unboxing video, but I ultimately wanted to spend more time with the camera before I talked about it. So I've been using the camera for the better part of 2 weeks, and I'm happy to say it's been a great addition to my camera collection. I find myself reaching for it often, and especially much more often than my film SLRs, of which I've always had a love-hate relationship. For me, the rangefinder experience has been phenomenal, and it's not something I want to leave behind anytime soon. The Rollei 35RF is kind of a strange camera. It was built in the early 2000s and clearly resembles a Bessa in many ways. Rollei made some distinct changes when building the camera though. Most obvious is the finish, which is done in a warm silver color. The grips are also different in that Rollei opted for these gray rubber patches instead of a leatherette found on many other cameras. Probably the strangest departure by Rollei is their choice to include frame lines for 40, 50, and 80mm lenses. As a 35mm photographer, this has really thrown me off. I've used the camera mostly with a 35mm lens, and I've just kind of guessed my frame lines. It's been a so-so experience. I've been on the fence of whether or not to pick up a 35mm viewfinder for the hot shoe or a 40mm lens to take advantage of the existing frame lines, but I just haven't made a decision yet. Aside from this strange selection of frame lines, the camera also only close focuses to 0.9 meters, which is 0.2 meters short of most of my M lenses. That's been really tough for me to get used to because I quickly realized that I focus at minimum distance a lot more than I thought. The viewfinder on the Rollei is great. It's bright and it's large. As someone who wears glasses, I found that it offers a great experience no matter which lens I'm using. Loading the camera has honestly been my favorite part. It loads from the back instead of the bottom like with Leica cameras. I found that I can get the film locked in pretty easily and have been able to regularly squeeze out 39 frames from each of my rolls. Some of the other selling factors for the camera were the built-in light meter, which is powered by just 2 batteries. Otherwise, the camera is completely manual. It also features a hot shoe, so I knew I could adapt my existing strobe kit and use the camera in the studio without sync cables or extra hoops to jump through. The biggest downside to the camera has got to be the frame lines, but the second would probably be the loudness of the shutter. Compared to my other Leicas, it's much louder and makes me hesitate to use it in certain situations. That's because I'm afraid it's much more noticeable in public. At the end of the day though, I found that the Rollei 35RF is an excellent camera for my collection. I've shot about 10 rolls of black and white film so far and have no ambitions to stop now. I'm really looking forward to using this camera more in the future. I've got some interesting videos in the pipeline for 2022, including a video going over my film developing and scanning process here at home, as well as a number of videos going behind the scenes making photographs. If you're interested in following along from the day-to-day, you can check me out on Instagram, Twitter, and Glass at Sean P. Bruce. Thanks for watching.